Okay, so the two of us are trying, both of us, basically the first time to learn some RAYH Kook. And
Hmm.
we're going to start with Mussar Avicha, which, according to the Shar Blat, is Pirkei Hadracha, uh, the chapters of guidance, B'yira, B'avodas Hashem, B'midos, B'cheshbon HaNefesh. What could be better than that? So,
Nothing could be better than that.
right.
That's right up my alley.
Yeah, so we will jump over. We'll skip Rav Tzvi Yehuda's introduction, and we will go to Rav Kook's introduction. Father.
I just want to tell you one thing.
Yeah.
I daven by the Chabad every Shabbos, and the Rav there is he's a pretty learned man. He's very very well versed, and so he asked me, what my background was. I says, well, I learned in a Mussar yeshiva. We learned a lot of Mussar,
Uh-huh.
and so he says to me, he says, well, Hasidus is like Mussar, but it's nicer.
That's their line, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So I said to him, I said, I don't need anybody to be nice to me. I need a guy who's going to yell at me and make sure I follow the right
that's
pathway.
right.
If
That's
you're going
right.
to be nice to me, that's probably not going to work.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll have to see what Rav Kook's definition of Mussar is, because I don't know if it's Rabbi Solom's definition or something else.
Uh-huh.
He certainly he did not learn in Mussar Yeshiva, learned in Volozhin. It's not a Mussar Yeshiva.
Uh-huh.
So we'll
He
see.
learned in Volozhin.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
He was a big Luim in Volozhin. Yeah, sure. Okay. Shema B'ni Mussar Avicha. Listen, my son, to the Mussar of your father. It's Bauska Mishlei. So he brings in here two Zohars. Shema B'ni Mussar Avicha V'gomer Rabbi Abba Amar Oraisa B'kola is Kalis. The Torah is involved in everything. Or I think that's what it means. Not everything is in Oraisa, but Torah is in everything. Oraisa is in everything. Rabbi Elazar Pasav Amar, my Mussar, the Oraisa. Mussar is Torah. Okay. Akdama. That's somewhat of an introduction. Tzarech l'ksiva, the need for writing this, Rishimos inyanim le'iyun v'limud, and a list of things to learn, to analyze, and to learn. Bezos Hashem Aleph. Niresh Iyavshal Tzesi Chova Bina Chova Salev. It's not possible to fulfill one's obligation with the obligations of the heart. Unless a person writes a book for himself. With the teachings which are necessary for him. Whether they're specific for him as an individual. Even more general ones. Understand more based on what you're mechadish on them, based on your spirit. And somebody there's a level of intellect that he can arrange a it's hard to translate
Program.
Program. No. Maracha is like an essay which takes into account many different issues and viewpoints. It's some sort of essay. Maracha sichlis batzmo. He can't come to shlemus unless he works on it. Base. This is what you should do. In this order. You have to clarify what the meaning is of emuna. It's the way the form it takes when it is, interesting term, settled in the soul. And why it is compelling, and the greatness of its truth. There is no boundary above this. I guess I don't know what it means saying gvul. I don't know what he means by gvul. I mean, if I leave out the word gvul, it works out fine. That this is the highest thing one can attain by clarifying and pursuing truth. What's the olive here? MS Emunah. Okay, so evidently it brings references here, but evidently there is an equation made by Rav Kook between emes and Emunah. So Emunah is something which is a clarification of emes. Okay, so I don't know again. What does this gvul mean?
In other words, there's no boundary holding you back, or this holding you from achieving a very high level.
Okay, well, could be. I don't have a better shot. Okay, thanks. Bamita Sabor Yis'aleh. Well, I thought we just talked about that. And we talked about first is Amita's Geder Amuna. Oh, no. So what he's saying first is this the concept of Amuna, not the Amuna in Hashem. That everybody believes in something. And everybody's supposed to seek truth. Because the Beis, he says, Bamita Sabor Yis'aleh, clarifying the truth concerning HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So the first one is just there's a concept of seeking emes, which defines emuna, and that's the first thing one has to appreciate. Second thing is the truth of Hashem, his existence, Yisbarach Godlo, his greatness, his providence, and the holy traits of Yuchasoslo, which are attributed to him. By name Amunim and the matters of Amunam Ischayvim, Be'imutim, with those things which are compelling based on the truthful, they're being demonstrated to be truthful and essential. Kasumim b'chayis emes, they are sealed with the seal of truth, tzedek and justice. Well, the yosher and I don't know how to translate yosher properly. Straightness doesn't really capture it. Yosher really in English translated as justice. Let's go, but it's not justice. It means the proper conduct. Hanoam HaTorah Amiti, and the true and pure pleasantness. The Mekubal, Ibul TV El Adas, and this should be something which is accepted naturally by the intellect. Umarnin umarchi v'sameachas nevesh, and besides being intellectually demonstrable or logical, it should also cause joy and happiness to the soul. Okay, that's this. That now, Gimel is Bamita Satorah. Asher b'yodeinu meisa don't call. I'm a kol masim mizbarach shmo loa ne'amon ne'Moshe Rabbeinu lo v'shalom. So the Torah which we have through Moshe Rabbeinu, from the master of all activity, the Gol Shasa, the greatness of its holiness, Bromus, Malosa, loftiness of its level, Badrasa Ra, the majesty of its light, Ugodol Ashra, and the greatness of the happiness, Shema Sheres Logea, which it bestows upon those who involve themselves in it, V'dorshea Be'emes Utomim, those who quest it in truth and with wholeness. Dushas Mitzvosea, and the Kedusha of its mitzvos, V'adorn and their splendor. How it is the radiance of the world, Muso, as perfection, necessarily. And you will have to come to realization why this is compellingly so, and with a clear cognition and with things which are clear and true. Okay, that was Torah B'Ksav. This Torah B'Peh. Shem Tzacham Min Dor V'Dor. And Ichlolim b'Mishnah b'Talmud Sifr Chazal Anilvim Lohem, which are all over Chazal. B'Gol Amitasa, and its truth, V'Gushas and its holiness, V'Ora, and its light, Habohir, which is clear, V'Otzem Aslachas HaHochim, and the power, and it's the wrong term.
Power, yeah, I was going to say
power. Maybe strength of the success of the people who follow in its pathways. That's nice. In the holiness of the rivers, which spread out from it. Hey, interesting that he finds this to be basic. That it's compelling. The success, those who know it and involve themselves in it. B'Talal Torah Klalis in its general advantage. She Misor Memes Me'al Kol Chachma, and it is lifted up, lofty above all Chachma, Misnaseis B'Kol Yediyah, and supreme over every Yediyah. Obviously, we could spend time trying to figure out what difference is Misor Memes Me'al Chachma, Misnaseis B'Kol Yediyah, but I'm not yet ready to spend that time being Medayik and RAYH Kook. We'll see. The comparative necessity for to involve yourself to people who are capable of doing so. B'tara slave with a purity of heart, b'simcha Torah, and with a pure happiness, and with humility or modesty. Ma das is Shem udavka bo yisala, to know Hashem and to connect Him. I assume now. So he says Aleph. This is Aleph is. It's nice to call you the Pnimis Torah Chachma. It is not. These are just cross references. Okay. Gimel calls matchlo yuman atzmo she tisbarelo malas nishmas adam malas Yisrael. When you don't learn for yourself to clarify for yourself the loftiness of the Jewish neshama malas Yisrael the neshama of man. Sorry, malas Yisrael. So that nishma adam is any person, right? Malas Yisrael is a separate thing. Malas Eretz HaKadoshah, rather so. V'yishtokekus ha'ru'il l'chol ish Yisrael, and the yearning which is appropriate for every Jew, Levina and Mikdash, Ugdulas Yisrael, and the greatness of Israel, Yisrael Mamosam, Ba'olam, and the loftiness of the world. Kiman she'ev shar litom tam avoda. It's not possible to taste the taste of Avodas Hashem. Kevan shechazal amru apostle of the b'chol avavchem avoda b'leiv zu tefillah. Okay, avoda in the heart is davening. Can tefillah b'chinas avoda. Tefillah is an aspect, or in our day and age, the primary aspect of avoda. Anyway, lavodas echad. Anyway, lavodas, I think it's called echad. Kshiyeh b'matzav das yiras Hashem kol kach. It seems like the word missing here. It's not suitable for avodah of each person until
key in.
What? Oh,
maybe it's key in.
Thank you. That's correct.
Kiyim Kishiya.
Yes. Kiyim Kishiya b'matzav das yiras Hashem. Very good. Only way is this a state of knowing yiras Hashem kokach to such an extent that you unite feel across the to the point that davening will actually speak to his heart. He doesn't know the level of his soul. How can daven with full will, and actually feeling a lack? Hashem is that he should ask for Hashem these things. This is since he doesn't recognize he's lacking. Evidently, we're talking about a person who does have olam hazeh. That's no way missing if he doesn't understand more profoundly. So you have to learn and plumb the depths until you know with clarity and complete knowledge how much you are missing. And necessity for these things. It's small as it. And thirst for it. Daven with love from the walls of heart. Hashem should bless you with this. Hashem will not curtail is good for those who go with complete devotion. Also, because that's if you don't know the mile of Adam. Okay, if you don't know the mile of Yisrael, how can you have a complete heart on your geula? But definitely the intent which we're looking for in the Tefillah Goy is not only on your personal hurts, which you yourself experience on account of the yoke of ghosts. The bracha itself indicates that it has to do with Am Yisrael. If you don't know, and that's the second thing, Ma'as Yisrael, new thing. If you don't know all these things about Eretz Yisrael, what is this all going on? Okay, that's, I don't think that's important for us. this tefillah specifically from the walls of the heart. When you feel they're missing this thing. Okay. Tefillah is a big test. Really purifying the soul like Hashem wants. If you're making your ratzon sync with ratzon Hashem. So this leads us, okay, kind of a little bit out of left field, so that you should not pursue the pleasures of the body, eating and drinking, etc. This will embed in you a materialistic nature. So you won't feel that the true, the things that are true and holy are lacking. So you're going to lose your tefillah. She cloud godo ba'avoda. You'll lose your tefillah, which is obviously the great principle of avoda. If you're happy with that, you have to eat and to satisfy yourself. Kayla have volim and other
vanities.
Yeah. But hey, how can he die with sincerity that he wants the world to be fixed? Because by him everything is fine. I just want to feel myself delicacies. What difference does it make if they understand there's a God or not? If the depictions of taiva in his heart, every person has to strengthen himself, and enlighten himself. And take counsel. From the God of Chesed and Rachamim wants our perfection, which is in itself covenant Tiferes Hashem. We're going to ask and spill out our prayers. Lead us in his pathway. And illuminate us with his great light. Hashem demands of us. Wants Yashav Tov to go in his ways. And that is the end of the Akdama, and it sounds pretty interesting.
Yes, beautiful language.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes, he's famous there. Okay, next week, Parak Aleph.
Excellent. Okay.
Okay. So I sent you a link for the
yes, I'm going to order it. Thank you. Have a good night.
Goodbye.